Hey Cancer, this is Michael with your April 2023 reading. As always, I hope that this finds you well and in good spirits. I do apologize that these videos are coming out a little bit late. I did just get back from a 10-day silent meditation course, and I've just kind of been slowly integrating. I don't want to rush into these readings, but I do feel a very strong flow. I feel very clear, and as I'm connecting with your energy, Cancer, and really looking at the astrology, April is going to be a very exciting month. We have a solar new moon eclipse on the 20th. This is in the sign of Aries, and this is the day before we have Mercury going retrograde in the sign of Taurus. So the energy at the end of the month may feel a little bit chaotic. We can't really complain too much, however, because we haven't had a retrograde in a few months now. It's kind of been smooth sailing. It's been very much about moving forward and doing what we need to do in order to be proactive. And things are really going to kind of slow down, and we're really going to be reassessing things by the end of April. However, for you, Cancer, this is a really, really beautiful month, and maybe even like a life-defining month. I know that sounds kind of cliche, or that sounds really grandiose, but we have one of the luckiest days of the year happening on the 11th, when the sun is joining with Jupiter in the sign of Aries. Now, again, for you specifically, Cancer, this is really focused on your career, on your public image, or the role that you fill in your life. And you really are stepping up in these platforms or in this way. And you are elevating, you are becoming something larger than yourself. So very, very exciting. And again, very, very powerful time. I would definitely recommend doing some sort of manifestation work around this time, specifically since we have an eclipse later on in Aries as well. And eclipses really do have this very profound transformative energy. Generally, it's harder to work with them. We don't always recommend that. But they will nonetheless change our lives. They nonetheless represent a turning of a chapter. So there is a really big and exciting new chapter that you are stepping into in the month of April. Before we get too far into this month's video, for those of you who are brand new to this channel, my name is Michael, and I utilize tarot and tropical astrology to intuit monthly forecasts for your zodiac sign. For those of you who are ready for a deep dive, you can find links for personal readings and distance Reiki sessions in the description of this video, where you can also find links to all of my other social media accounts and the accompanying blog post. Make sure to hit like, subscribe, and the bell notification so you don't ever miss out on what's in the cards for you. As I'm shuffling some cards here for you, Cancer, I do want to talk a little bit more about the astrology. We do have a full moon in Libra on April 6th, and this could actually be a very emotional time for you, especially because you are ruled by the moon. Libra represents a very emotional and personal, kind of private part of your life. You could think of this as home and family, but also your emotions, your upbringing, your childhood, and maybe even your ancestors or things regarding tradition. There's just a lot of emotions that are really coming up. And yeah, we have the Three of Swords and Judgment coming out first, kind of as past influences that are playing out this month. The Three of Swords often represents healing. There usually is some pain when we see this card. We can kind of see this heart being sewn back together. So you are healing yourself, and especially with Judgment, you might finally be healing something or addressing something that you've been avoiding for a very long time, and honestly, maybe even avoiding your whole life. So you're being confronted with some pretty big truth, or some pretty big realization. And while this may feel painful, or it's something that you've been afraid of even, it's very, very essential. It's very, very vital that you have gone through this. And maybe you've already gone through this in the month of March or in the previous months, because again, this is kind of talking about past influence, past energy. It feels like there are things that are coming up that are helping you heal on a deeper level. And I think especially around this full moon in Libra that we were just talking about, especially around the 6th, this is when all of these things are going to be coming up for you, and that volume is going to be kind of on full blast. So just kind of keep that in mind. You could be very, very emotional. There could be some really personal things that are coming up. But I actually think that this is ultimately very positive because you're finally moving forward. You're finally stepping up. You're finally getting out of the old story and rewriting your narrative, your life story here. What else do we have for Cancer? Show us clearly, please. What is going on for Cancer? Interesting. Yeah, you have found happiness with the sun, but we also have the Seven of Wands here too. I feel like I'm connecting with a group who's actually done a lot of healing already. And I almost get this impression like your family doesn't understand your happiness, or there are people who should be able to celebrate your joy and happiness, but they just don't understand it. And in fact, it's almost like you feel like you have to defend your happiness from people. You have to keep parts of yourself hidden from people. So that's kind of sad, but I feel like ultimately you are coming into a healed energy here. And if you're not there now, if you're hearing me say all of this and you don't feel like you have healed or you've come to this place of joy and fulfillment, maybe you do need to protect some things or keep some things away from people who aren't going to understand you. Especially if there's like a Leo energy, or maybe another fixed sign energy that could be Aquarius, Taurus, or Scorpio. And I feel like you're really learning to stand in your light. That's something you've had to learn to do, Cancer. What else do we have? Show us clearly. Where is all of this leading? We have the Two of Wands. Very exciting. Yeah, there's something you are looking forward to finally. And sometimes our family and friends, they mean very well, but when we share our plans with them, they maybe out of their concern for us try to dissuade us from whatever it is that we are getting excited about or looking forward to. I feel like there's this really brilliant idea, maybe a new business venture with the King of Pentacles, or just something that feels like a really important project that you are keeping kind of under wraps from some people, which is interesting. But you're excited. I think you are excited. And that's the thing, like, there is happiness here. I know the energy is kind of intense. We had the Three of Swords, Judgment, and Seven of Wands. But there is the sun. The sun is still here. The hope is still here. The joy is still here. The life force is still here. You do have a lot of beautiful things here on the table. And it's almost like, despite all of these things, and you are coming into a much more balanced and healed place yourself. And I feel like a lot of you are getting out of a rat race. Like maybe the people in your life are just working for money, or they're working for reasons that aren't necessarily aligned with their soul. And I'm not saying that, I don't mean to say that in a judgmental way. But I feel like there is something you are aligning with, abundance that is aligned for you. You're flowing with this more. We have the Queen of Cups as well. Wow. I mean, this is your card, Cancer. You are really stepping into your energy in the future. You know, this is where you're going. And I love to see this card. It's a very intuitive card, very healed card, very emotionally mature and wise card. You are becoming a wise person. And maybe some of you are working with your psychic gifts. Maybe some of you are working on something creative here. Or doing some sort of healing work. And it's actually interesting because I know I talked a lot about family potentially being a source of conflict, but actually with Mercury going retrograde in the sign of Taurus, there could be things just in your social networks overall. There really could be things kind of in maybe groups of friends you connect with. Where it's like they might not necessarily understand you, and that's okay. You don't have to make other people understand. You don't have to make other people believe. They're going to see something. They're going to feel something is shifting in you in due time, Cancer. And they're going to ask you what you're up to, or what it is that you're working on, or what it is that you've been doing. because you have a lot of clarity with what it is that you want, or you at least know the direction of what feels good to you, even if you don't know where exactly it will lead. I see that with the sun. Any other messages for Cancer? I'm curious what's going on for you, maybe in your love life or other relationships. What's happening for Cancer and love? We'll also look at your finances as well, although things are looking pretty good if I do say so myself. But let's ask about relationships. Let's ask about love. What messages do we have for love for Cancer? We have the Page of Pentacles. I feel like, honestly, there isn't really a ton of focus on love and relationships for this group. I feel like a lot of you are more focused on a project. Or if you are, in a relationship with someone or connecting with someone, it's like there's this importance about commitment and investment and project. Like there's something that you're supposed to be building with someone. Maybe you are collaborating with a partner. Tell me more about this Page of Pentacles, please. Tell me more about the Page of Pentacles. Whoa, that's way too many. Although we have a few cards that came out up right here. Very strong Virgo and Libra energy, actually. We have the Knight of Pentacles and the Hermit. Both of these are Virgo cards. A very earthy energy, and also Justice, which is Libra energy. There is the Nine of Pentacles, which is actually also another Virgo card. So if there are people who are connecting with someone with Virgo placements, I actually feel pretty good about this relationship. It feels very balanced, but it does feel like this is a slow relationship, okay? You're not rushing into things. You're being very methodical. And if you're already in a relationship with this person, then you're planning something. You're planning your abundance. You're planning your life together in the future. And it feels like you're taking you're taking it step by step. You're taking things step by step. But I feel like there is this thing with abundance with the Nine of Pentacles. There is something that you are cultivating either for yourself or with another person. And for those of you who are single, to be honest, I really do feel like with the Nine of Pentacles and the Hermit, these both are very single energies. And I was kind of talking about that with the Page of Pentacles as well. Like, I just don't feel like love is the main focus for a lot of you this month. And that's not to say that there's nothing coming in your love life. It's just you're more focused on something tangible or something practical right now. You're making space for that. And you're just kind of enjoying your life with the Nine of Pentacles. You're enjoying your own time or space to yourself. And I mean, with Justice, it's like you want very even relationships. You want kind of an equal give and take. And you're not rushing into a relationship that doesn't feel balanced. Or you shouldn't be doing that, is what I'm getting for you. I think things could really change quite quickly for those of you who are single next month, when we have a full moon eclipse in Scorpio. But in the meantime, for April, I really do feel like you're kind of just focused on your own thing, or you're focused on a project. You're focused on building stability and really building relationship with yourself, because that's an important relationship too, right? That's kind of what I'm getting. I'm curious. Let's go to finances, because that really seems to be the thing that's also kind of manifesting for you. There could be some sort of promotion. There could be some sort of new role or new job you are stepping into. Tell us about finances. What messages does Cancer need to hear about finances? Eight of Pentacles. You're working hard on something. And like maybe this isn't like immediate gratification even. Maybe there is something you are working towards with the Eight of Pentacles, or you're like really just busy with work, or you're working for this money, you're working for this abundance. But there's this flow with the Eight of Pentacles. It's not like the Ten of Wands, which can feel very burdensome. I love it. Right as I say that, I get the Ace of Cups. Yet, the abundance is flowing. It's going to be very natural for you, especially those of you who are stepping into a bigger role with the Queen of Pentacles here. Yeah, I really feel like a lot of you are like either starting a business or getting a promotion or a raise, or there's something about your job that's changing that actually feels really positive. There could also be something about an opportunity or someone giving you something with the the 6 of Pentacles. Someone might be providing something to you, or you might even be volunteering, or you might be giving something to someone else too. You might be the one who is providing for someone else or for groups of people. But either way, there's kind of this charitable energy. There's this generosity. And it's like when you fill up your own cup, you naturally flow into other people's. You overflow into other people's cups. Your happiness is contagious. And I feel like you're creating a life for you that feels really meaningful, that has flow, that has genuine prosperity and like true stability. It's not about burning yourself out. It's not about exhausting yourself anymore. And I think they're watching you. People are curious about what you're doing, even if they don't seem like they're approving of whatever it is you're doing right now, or they have worries or concerns. I think you're showing people, you're leading people by example, because you're changing your life. What else do we have for Cancer? I'm going to pull an animal card for you now. Any other messages for Cancer? I like to think of these animal messages as energies that we can embody. What is the animal message for Cancer? We have the bear. This is a very resourceful energy. This is very much about awakening from hibernation. You're waking up in your life, and you're finally waking up to your purpose or to something that feels like your purpose. And this is a slow but steady energy. And there is almost this unstoppable sort of energy with bear. There's a lot of abundance and prosperity and generosity, especially for your cubs, for the people who you are protective of. You have this kind of mama bear energy to you, Cancer. And it's like working with the cycles, working with what you have. Bear is very good at doing that. What else do we have for Cancer? Anything else for Cancer? And even if it feels kind of like slow start or slow moving energy, especially when Mercury starts going retrograde, it's not to say to put your life on pause. You know, it's just going to be like kind of a struggle to build momentum at first, but it does build. I'm just getting that with Bear. And I think especially in the second half of April, that's going to be a lot more pertinent to you. And with the Firefly, following your light, following this spark, following this joy, Firefly can be very fleeting. So like you'll have this moment of like insight or this revelation or this exciting new idea. And you're like, wow, this really feels like my purpose, or this really feels like the right path for me. And then just as quickly as that light shines in your life, it can also fade. And you might be wondering or second guessing or doubting yourself. Don't doubt this light, even if you don't always feel it, even if it doesn't always feel easy or doesn't always seem clear. You do have this clarity with the sun. This is something you have gained from the past. This is something you have access to in the month of April. And I also want to encourage you to really act on those moments where you do feel like you're lighting up, when your energy does feel naturally high, because when you're putting that positive energy into what it is that you are doing and you're not forcing yourself to do something, it's going to be all the more powerful. I feel like there's kind of a lot of stop and start energy here this month. And it's almost like, work towards something every day, Cancer, but if it's not flowing, don't feel like you need to force it. At least try. At least tend to it. At least put something into it. And if it's just not working, that's okay. But when you have these moments where you are feeling very energetic or very aligned or just radiant, act in these moments. Don't squander this beautiful, precious energy, and really manifest from this place as well. Because this is a really good month for manifestation, specifically around the 11th. And I mean, with all of this exciting energy, with this new moon eclipse that we have in Aries, there are new beginnings for you. There are new beginnings for your career or your public image, or maybe you're getting some recognition. But sometimes that can come with like work. That can come with other changes that we kind of have to work through. And maybe that's where this energy is a bit inconsistent or kind of like hot cold. Just kind of another interpretation I have. Anyways, Cancer, I think that's everything I have for you this month. I do hope that this was helpful. Definitely be sure to hit like and subscribe. Comment down below what it is that you're manifesting, what this new role you're stepping into is, because it feels really, really exciting. It feels very natural for you. It's kind of like finding stability after a really tough period. So this feels really, really nice. And I'd love to hear what's going on for you. Again, all of my links are in the description box down below if you're looking for a distance Reiki session or a personal reading. You can also check out the other videos, maybe for your moon or rising sign. There may be messages in those readings for you as well. And I will see you all next time. Take care, Cancer. Have a happy and blessed April.